What's going on, everybody? This is Rio coming at you with another FSD video. I just got 12.5. I've been driving it around a little bit today and it's overall been pretty good, but there's been a couple little things. We'll see how it does. I had one situation. Oh yeah, I'll have the screen on. Hopefully you guys can see the screen. You can see the car. I have about a 20-minute ride. I'm not sure if I'm going to show the entire ride. It's basically it's a straight shot, but there's a lot of traffic. It's not quite a straight shot, but it's not too twisty or turny, but there's a lot of traffic, and seeing how it does in this type of environment, kind of like the rush hour time, should be pretty interesting. I mean, like right now it could get in the right-hand turn lane and kind of get up to the front, but it's staying in this middle lane, which I believe you can turn right from, but it's not the primary turn lane. So I mean, these are the type of things that are kind of interesting. Okay, now the car looks like it wants to get over, but it's not. Yeah, so this should be an interesting place to start. I did have a situation where a lady got out of her car at a red light, and she pointed at me and started screaming. And I wasn't driving, it was the FSD, so that was pretty funny and a little scary. I mean, I wasn't scared, it was just a lady, right? But it was just not the greatest, it wasn't the greatest experience. And I couldn't really hear what she was saying. I had the radio on, so it didn't really even bother me, but that's one experience I had today with 12.5, which was not great. So that's one data point. Take of it what you will. You get to see the car drive itself. A lot of people have been raving about 12.5. A lot of people on Twitter or X. Elon's been raving about 12.5. So let's see how it does. This is a 4-lane. Obviously, they got the middle lane for turning, so there's quite a bit going on here. It should be a good drive. I know yesterday Tesla earnings came out and they just kind of didn't have the best earnings. The stock went down quite a bit today. It does seem like Tesla earnings and especially their auto margins have really just been stagnating for a while. And when I say stagnating, I actually mean going down. Their auto gross margins have been declining basically since 2021, which is obviously a little bit concerning. But I guess it's just because of the price, and they've had to make some adjustments. So it looks like we're going into the rain, and obviously Vision FSD does not do as well in the rain. So let's see how it does. I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it go, and if the rain gets bad, if the FSD really is struggling too much, I'll take over. But we're gonna let it go, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna let it go and see what happens. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I mean, there's cars all over the place. It's a little bit of a tricky place to drive here. So I know a lot of the people that watch my videos are obviously you're interested in FSD, and one thing I would be interested in to hear from you is people watching this video. Do you have FSD? Do you have a Tesla? Do you drive FSD? Do you have a Tesla? I just want to kind of get an idea. Or do you not have Tesla, you don't have FSD, and you just kind of want to see what the progress is? Because it has been really significant progress. I got to say, when I first got my Tesla and I got FSD, I think it was on version 11, so it was just last year, and it was significantly worse. I mean, it's gotten way better. And I used to drive FSD with other colleagues and stuff before, and really before version 11, I would say FSD was really kind of a joke, to be honest. I mean, it would somewhat work, especially on the freeways. It was pretty good, but nobody really thought they had solved autonomy. starting on version 12, especially when version 12 first came out, it's taken a huge step forward. Let's see about 12.5. But yeah, in terms of Tesla as a company, because that's kind of an adjacent conversation, which I also find very interesting. Auto gross margins have been going down. The margins on their energy business seem to be stabilizing around 25% with sales growing. So they're getting more profit from energy. I think the energy business will continue to grow. And that car's loud. You know, obviously most of the money they make on their energy business is from the mega packs. And all right, let's see how we're doing here. Speed limit's 45, we're going 47, we're cruising, we're good. But most of the energy money comes from the mega packs. I know I've personally been looking at the Powerwall 3 and solar, and you know, it's just so expensive. I mean, for 2 Powerwalls and I think like 9.7 kilowatts of solar, I mean, I cannot remember the exact number, but it was around like $40,000. And I need to get the gateway because I can't get the new kind of, you know, the way to get around that. They have a new way that you don't have to install the gateway, so I still have to do that. And when you do the profitability, you know, how long it would take to pay back, it's like 20 years or something. So it's very difficult to justify, but I still do want it. I'm hoping that they could bring the prices down on the solar and Powerwall 3 so that can be more widely adopted. You know, out here in Texas, everybody has a generator. Generators are just, you know, you can throw a rock and you can hit a generator. All the grocery stores have generators. A lot of the homes have generators because there's a lot of power outages. There's obviously a lot of, you know, oil and gas and fuel basically is very affordable out here. And you can buy a generator out here for, you know, $500, a couple $1,000 that will run your, you know, your fridges, your freezers, your lights, the basics. If you want to run your whole house just like a 1,500-foot house, still it's only a few $1,000s. So it's very affordable. And so, you know, when you compare it to that, now obviously a solar and battery system, it reduces or eliminates your electricity bill, so it's obviously a much better product. But still, you know, in a place like this, all right, slow down, all right. In a place like this in Texas where energy is very affordable, it's still very hard to justify the solar and Powerwall. I still want one. I'm still going to get one eventually, but it's hard to justify right now. But with the earnings, let's see, what else was interesting? What else did I notice that interesting? So they moved the Robo taxi or cyber taxi rollout from 8.8 to 10.10. I think, like usual, you know, Elon sets these really aggressive timelines and then they got to get pushed back to make it work. So 10.10 is still really soon. I think that'll be a huge mover for the company and for the stock. But really all of that hinges on FSD. I mean, if they can't solve FSD, they can't do the Robo taxi, they can't do Optimus, they can't do the robot. So it all hinges on FSD, and that really is the most important thing that Tesla is working on, and it's a fun thing to test. It is definitely a fun thing to test. All right, so we're getting a lot of stop and go. A lot of aggressive driving out here. We're kind of in a construction area. Let's see how we do here. All right, we're getting more rain. So the rain's going to start coming down pretty hard in a second here. So it should be interesting to see how FSD handles the rain. Especially, we've got a brand new version. Let's see how we do here. because you know that's really the question about FSD. I mean, when the weather's perfect, when it's a nice day out, you know, the FSD version 12 is going to be basically fine. But in weather like this and other weather, there's snow weather, other types of days where it's not ideal driving situation, that's where you really wonder if vision only FSD is adequate, you know, is safe and is going to work. So I'm going to put my hands on the steering wheel. I'm going to hold on a little, well, not hold on tight, but at least keep my feet here, or my hands here, so that I can be ready to take over just in case. Let's see. So far we're doing pretty good. Now again, you know, we're basically, you know, we're not making a lot of turns or anything here, so it's not super complicated. But I have seen on 12.4, I did see where there was one of these kind of, you know, angles. Okay, full self-driving may be degraded. Poor weather detected. Now, how do they get around that with a robotaxi? You know, because a lot of places, it rains all the time. So how do you get around this issue with vision only? I'm not sure. So yeah, here's a, let's see, will it curve over? Will it curve over? Okay, it did. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. Rain's coming down good. Okay, yellow light, yellow light. Let's see. All right, handled pretty well. Handled pretty well. All right, let's see. So yeah, I mean, Tesla as a stock has just been brutal. You know, it's been brutal. It's really been down between basically 250 and 100 since 2021's peak. It's basically just been, you know, in between those ranges. And it got up to almost 400, or did get up to 400. And so if you bought towards the top, which I know a lot of people did, you've really just been in the red for years, you know, and it's tough. And if you've, you know, you could say it's a great time to accumulate, but you know, there's a lot of risk. FSD's been around for a long time now, right? And it really hasn't provided a significant amount of revenue. And you know, I was even thinking about Uber, and I guess Uber now is a little bit profitable. I know Lyft is not, obviously you don't have the people with that type of thing, but you do question how profitable of a business that is. Okay, full self-driving may be degraded. Okay, I got my hands on the wheel. Again, not a ton of traffic. It's mostly behind us, so that is nice. Coming up to another red light. Let's make sure this thing slows down. All right, good job, good job. And we got the auto wipers going too, based on the full self-driving, so that's not bad. Okay, the auto wipers are working. So I'm actually pretty happy the traffic is behind me at this point, because this is, I think, kind of a dangerous situation for FSD. Visibility is pretty limited. A lot of water. Going at a cool 51 and a 45. Okay, well, the car knows where the lane is, so that's good. We're staying in the lane. Very happy about that. All right, going through this little puddle, no problem. Slowing down, even in the degraded system. Pretty good. Can't complain with its performance. I think car's driving good. It's performing. But this is the thing about the FSD, these different weather situations, that's where you kind of get a little concerned about how effective vision is. I mean, this is a great example though. I mean, if it can perform this well in the rain, then I think, you know, it could. Oh man, look at this traffic. Okay, it looks like it's just some type of backup. Maybe there's an accident ahead. Okay, well, since traffic isn't moving, I'm gonna wrap up this video because I think it looks like it's gonna be kind of boring here for a few minutes. But my impression so far of 12.5 are that it's adequate. I don't see any regression from 12.4, but I probably haven't driven it enough to really know. Oh, you know what? I do have an idea how I can get around this. So I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoy the FSD videos, please like, please subscribe. I'm gonna be putting out more content. And one thing I want to know from you, what would you like me to talk about? Because I enjoy talking about FSD, but there may be other kind of congenial things like Tesla stock and other stuff that I find interesting, and I'd love to know if you guys would love to hear about that as well. Okay, thank you.